Hello there. Today we're going to cook in the Creuset Dutch oven. I haven't had too much experience with this yet, but I know this meal is going to be good. This is a 5 1/4 quart Dutch oven, and it's lined, and it's going to be very nice to cook with. So far we've had good experiences. I'm going to make a pot roast today. This is a sirloin roast, and it's about 2.5 pounds. Nice size, it looks beautiful. And I'm going to add to it some other veggies. Take a look. We're going to use 1 pound of sliced carrots. Now these are cut on the bias and they have ridges in, so they're nice bite-sized pieces. I'm going to use 2 Vidalia onions, and I'm going to use about 8 stalks of celery. Also a handful of garlic cloves. We're talking 8 or 9 garlic cloves. 1.5 pounds of baby red potatoes. These are really small ones. As we load the pot, if there's room, I might add a few more potatoes. I'm going to use a nice organic bone broth, and this is going to keep the vegetables and the pot roast nice and moist. And to start out with, I'll use some olive oil to brown the sirloin roast a little bit on the stove top. And then of course we'll add some other herbs and spices along the way. Alright, I'm going to get started by putting a little olive oil in the pan. And then I'm going to take the meat out, and we'll get the oil warmed up and we'll start browning it on the stove. Okay, now here's the meat. There's some fat on it. I'm going to leave some of the fat on there because that adds some flavor to this dish. I'm going to put it right into the hot oil now. And you see it's been warming up a little bit here. This is the beauty of the cast iron pan, because you can use it on the stove top and then also right into the oven. In the meantime, I am preheating the oven to 350 degrees. Okay, now the browning is going by the browning is taking place nicely here. You don't want to try to cook the meat in here. Just turn it over a little bit to seal in the juices. In the meantime, I'm going to put a few sprigs of rosemary in here for flavor. And then I'm going to add this container of bone broth. You can use any kind of broth, or you can use a bouillon cube in water or something like that, but give it enough juice in here because you want it to cook the vegetables when you add them later on. And that'll be in about an hour that we're going to add the potatoes and celery and onions and carrots. So we have a nice amount of liquid in here right now. I'm going to take a package of French onion soup to season this. And all I do here is tear it open and sprinkle it on top. And this has dehydrated onions and onion powder and a lot of good seasonings. So this keeps us from having to add a lot of other seasonings. This is a nice package that you can use for soup and dip mixes. There's recipes on the back, but one of them that I always liked was on the top of a pot roast. It adds great flavor and texture to the top. Alright, I'm going to put this in my oven, 350 degrees, with the lid on. And what's nice about the cast iron lid is that it keeps the moisture returning to the pot while it's cooking. And it's nice even heating texture. Put it in the oven, push it towards the back, and we'll be back in an hour to add the vegetables. Alright, here we go. We're going to get this pot of meat out. Oh, let's say that it smells very good in this house right now. Alright, let's take a look. Ooh, look inside. Oh gosh. Oh, look at that bubbling away there. The meat did shrink a little, so we can add some extra vegetables. So I started cutting them up while I was waiting. Let's stick them in the pot with the meat. 1.5 pounds. Then I have already chopped up the onions and celery. And the garlic cloves I cut into thirds, so they'll be nice sized chunks too. Alright, rearrange that a little bit here. And then we have the carrots. These are nice chips, and they're pretty thin, so they should cook nicely with the rest of the vegetables. We can fill that up there. It'll bubble and steam and cook those carrots nicely too. Alright, now the pot is still hot. There's plenty of liquid in there. Get that back in the oven. And cook up the vegetables and make sure the meat's the right temperature, and I'm sure it will be when we're ready to take it out. Okay, back in the oven. I expect this is probably going to take another hour. I'm going to lower the temperature down to 300 for the last part. I'm going to reduce the temperature to 300 degrees for the last part, and we'll be back in about an hour and check on it. Alright, let's take a look how we're doing here. Oh, look at this. Alright, what's inside? Ooh, look at those veggies. Oh. Alright, now the carrots are nice and tender. I'm sure the potatoes, oh, perfect. Look at that. They're tender. I used the thermometer, but let's check the temperature of the meat. Down in here. Oops. Alright, now the meat temperature is up in the 190s. Okay, we know that's very well done. So I'm going to keep it out of the oven now. I'm just going to let it sit here in the pot and rest for a while. And when it's time for us to eat, it'll be nice and hot, tender and ready to go. We're just going to let it sit here and let the heat of the pan continue to cook it slowly. And we'll wait for dinner time, and we'll have a nice pot roast dinner with veggies. Okay, here we go. Now, I left it sit on warm on the burner on the stove for the last hour, and you can still see the steam coming out of the pot.
Looks
So
good.
yeah, doesn't it look good?
Spoon it out.
Alright. I'm going to serve the vegetables up on this plate here. Has a nice wide brim to hold the juices. Boy, that sure smells good.
Where's the meat?
I didn't get down to the potatoes yet.
Where's your plate?
There we go. Alright, now I'm going to squeak in there and get the meat out. So just for fun, let's see how the temperature is after it rested for a while.
177.1 degrees.
Okay, 177. Perfect. Put the meat on the plate. Now you can see it did shrink quite a bit, right? Okay. I'm going to slice it right on this plate here. Boy, does that smell good.
Yep.
Nice. I'd like to make slices before it falls apart here. Is that enough to get us started?
Yep.
All right. Now I'm going to take some of the juices. Let's take some of the juices from the pot. Push them all over the vegetables and the meat. The rosemary kind of fell apart on the branch there. We have to usually pull the sprigs out, but the sprigs are already empty. So we have it throughout the dish.
That's good.
Yeah. I'll put the lid on and keep the rest warm for us, okay? Come on over and have some dinner with me.
Alright, I'm ready. I'm hungry.
You're always hungry. This one we had to smell all day, huh?
Yeah, it smells good.
It was nice cooking it slow in the oven.
Yep.
Feed me.
There we go. Make sure you get some carrots and potatoes. Oh, you want some meat too?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you the nice end that has all the nice flavors on it, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wanna taste it?
I'm getting there. It's like oh, I can see all the garlic cloves in here. Did you get any of them?
Maybe. Yeah. Good.
Good?
That would be a good sandwich, huh?
Yeah. Looks like we'll have some leftovers. Oh, it's slicing nicely. Oh.
Cheers. That's good.
All right, I hope you can try this recipe. Look how easy it was, right? Get your stuff all ready. Start the meat off a little bit slow, and then add your veggies. And then with the cast iron pan, it was really nice to just, while Rick was gone for a little while, when he came back, it was still nice and hot.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.